Are there any rides or attractions that absolutely terrify you? Well, today I'm going to go over my top 10 of most terrifying rides and attractions that America has to offer. These are rides that kind of play with your senses, make you feel on edge or unsafe, give you goosebumps as you're walking up to them. Here's my list. Hope you enjoy. Make sure to stay till the end because the number one is absolutely insane. Starting off with number 10, and that would be X2, located at Six Flags Magic Mountain. This thing, from start to finish, is one of the most insanely disorienting roller coasters I have ever been on. It does all kinds of inversions throughout the entire ride. You are flipping upside down. You have no idea where you're going. It is crazy. I love this ride, and it is definitely one of the most intense roller coasters on earth, no doubt. At only 175 feet tall, it's not that tall or intimidating to look at, but man, does it pack a punch. Speaking of packing a punch, we're going to head over to Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson, New Jersey, where we have King Ka, 456 foot tall. This ride only lasts 28 seconds, but man, it is an adrenaline rush like you would not believe. I don't really think it's the height that gets me. Mostly it's that crazy intense launch, 0 to 128 miles an hour in 3.5 seconds. It will literally rearrange your face. You'll feel like Gumby. This thing is one of the most powerful coasters I've ever been on. So moving on to something that's scary in a different form, and that would just be the fact that you're going 450 feet in the air on the world's tallest swing. This is the Orlando Starflyer, and boy is that thing a sight to be seen. Located at Icon Park, not too far from Universal Studios. I'm telling you what, you're hanging up there with those tiny little metal chains, and it just kind of freaks me out, man. I'm not gonna lie. So moving on to our number 7 most terrifying ride, and that would be the Orlando Slingshot, located at Icon Park. So you don't have to go very far. In fact, Orlando has a lot of very intense rides and attractions. But this slingshot here is the tallest in the world at 300 feet. It actually launches you another 150 feet up. So you're actually going a total height of 450 feet roughly at about 100 miles an hour. So a very intense experience, and it's pretty cool. It actually launches you out of a volcano with smoke and the whole 9 yards. Our next attraction, we go out to Colorado. Pretty close to Colorado Springs, we have the Cloud Scraper zip line. This thing is insane. It is located at Royal Gorge Bridge and Park, which they offer quite a few different attractions, but this thing, you're basically going over a canyon where you look down and the heights are right around 1,200 to 1,500 feet. So it's pretty intense as far as heights go. Doesn't really offer much in the way of speed or anything, but what a cool experience and definitely a must do. Well, we don't have to go too far for the next attraction. Located at Glenwood Caverns Adventure Park, we have one of the nastiest screaming swings I've ever been on. Giant Canyon Swing. And this thing overlooks a cliff that's probably about 13 to 1,500 feet. And it just really messes with your mind. It's quite an insane experience, and I highly recommend this. So we're going to head back to Royal Gorge Bridge and Park in Colorado for another attraction that they have to offer there. and this is the Royal Rush Sky Coaster. This thing's not a very tall sky coaster. It's only 100 foot, but the cliff that you overlook is 1,500 feet in elevation, so it really feels like, hey, if this thing breaks, I'm gonna plummet to my death here. But that brings us to our next sky coaster, located at Fun Spot Kissimmee, and this thing's 300 foot tall, and man, does it pack a punch. I highly recommend going on this thing at night. The views are insane. I just absolutely love that sky coaster. Moving on to number 3, and we have Falcon's Fury. This thing is one of the most insane drop towers I've ever been on. It literally hoists you back once you get to the top. You hoist back about 90 degrees, so you're looking straight down at the ground, and there is no experience like this that I've ever been on in America. You literally feel like you are gonna drop down and smash right into the concrete, and I just can't really describe the tingling sensation that you get when you get on this thing. And just before you feel like you're gonna hit the concrete, right when you get to the bottom, it swings back out, which is a pretty intense experience in itself. I highly recommend doing this. This is located at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay, and it is a must-do. So we're gonna move on to the top 2. But I just want to say, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Our top 2 are located at the Strat in Las Vegas. We have the Big Shot. We also have this awesome skydiving experience, and that's called Sky Jump. That thing is insane. You jump 855 feet, and I gotta say, that's a pretty cool experience. However, it didn't make my list, neither did Big Shot. No, we're here for the other 2 attractions that this awesome place has to offer. I highly recommend getting out there to the Strat in Las Vegas because they have some really cool experiences there. So, coming in at number 2, we have X-Scream. And it's not very fast, but man, does it really play with your senses. You literally feel like you're gonna go right off the track and off the side of the building and plummet to your death. Very terrifying. Definitely a must-do. You gotta get to the Strat. Coming in at number 1, Insanity. Just by the name, it really just tells the story. I mean, this thing hoists you up and you're looking down at the ground 860 feet below, roughly. It's the most insane ride I've ever been on. The Strat is a must-visit place for thrill seekers and adrenaline junkies. That was my list. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Please make sure to hit that like button. I really do appreciate it. Thanks so much, everyone.